Now, medical group Médecins Sans Frontières, or MSF, says the world is running out of one of the most effective snakebite treatments, putting tens of thousands of lives at risk. Now, experts say new stocks of Fav-Afrique, which neutralizes 10 different snake bites that can occur in Sub-Saharan Africa, are desperately needed. Now, the last batch will expire in June of 2016, and there is no comparable replacement. To discuss this further, Borrie La Grange, the head of communications for MFS in South Africa, joins us now here in studio. Borrie, a very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us, but on worrying news.
Yeah, certainly it is.
Borrie, take us through this. The World Organization says that the snake bites are a neglected issue that actually needs more attention and investment. But why is the shortage not being taken so seriously?
So the anticipated shortage is quite acute because there's one producer for this particular, what we call a polyvalent anti-venom called Fav-Afrique, which is effective for up to 10 different snakes and their venom. And so there's one company that produces this, Sanofi Pasteur, and last year they produced the last batch of this particular polyvalent anti-venom. And so there's probably about 15,000 vials that are in the stock. And then once that runs out, it's uncertain whether another pharmaceutical company that's possibly going to produce this antivenom will have enough stock by that time. It takes about 2 years to produce an antivenom like this. So it's quite a complicated process to do it. And if you only have one reputable antivenom that's been proven effective and you don't have a replacement yet, that is a cause for great concern, which we as Doctors Without Borders feels is the duty of the World Health Organization, donors and other governments to do more to address this public health need.
Borrie, why should we worry?
In South Africa, we've perhaps grown accustomed to the idea that we can get antivenoms really readily available because of the work that the National Health Laboratory Services and its vaccines department do, and they develop an anti-serum effective for several snake bites in South Africa. But this isn't the case in East Africa, in West Africa, Central Africa. In places like Agok in South Sudan, where we work, but also in Pawa in the Central African Republic, we're treating increased numbers of people who come in with snake bites. So to give you an idea, last year we treated between 300 and 400 people in each of these places. So to us at least, it seems that if people are displaced due to conflict, they're more at risk of being bitten by venomous snakes. And in particular children. And this is of grave concern because people, while they are at risk of dying because of the venomous snake bites, they may also risk losing limbs when these limbs have to be amputated. So in essence, the knock-on effect of something as simple as not having a anti-venom like Fav-Afrique available is a great concern.
Look, Borrie, tell us more. We've just spoken about, what could result from the shortage of this, but are there any alternatives of treatments, and are they available, and are they even effective? I think we should start looking at other ways now of trying to curb the rise in snake bites or the death resulting from those snake bites.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's about 30,000 people in Sub-Saharan Africa that die annually due to venomous snakes bites. So in this instance, the best option really is for Sanofi Pasteur to produce enough of the basic elements for this anti-venom, while this other company that's taking over the production is ramping up its own capacity. That's the simplest solution. But in the long term, yes, we certainly need better alternatives. There are some alternatives, but they haven't all been proven very effective. These antivenoms need to go through a process of clinical trials. They're tested on animals as well, and then also in humans. So this is a very long-term kind of process, but for the moment, the need will be dire after those last remaining stocks expire in 2 years' time.
And Borrie, as MFS, how are you making sure that people are being educated about the precautions, the dangers, as well as treatment?
So for us in the places where we work, often in very rural and remote areas, we do try and sensitize people to the risks that snakes pose. In this instance, what's true for Agok and Pawa, where we've got these increased numbers of snake bites, it's mainly due to us now entering the wet season, so snakes are trying to find a dry place to stay, and so they enter people's homes, or perhaps when people are out in the bush, perhaps hurting their cattle as such. They're also at risk. So the biggest thing to try and do is to try and identify the particular snake that bit a person. The reason why this polyvalent antivenom is really useful is because it's got such a broad range of efficacy.
So you don't even have to know the make of the snake or the type of snake,
yes, exactly.
so to speak. Yes.
As I tried to explain yesterday, all snakes are not equal.
Yes.
Their venoms attack different parts of your body and have different impacts. So this polyvalent antivenom is a very useful tool. Yeah.
Very interesting indeed. Now, Borrie, how can the general public help? How can they help?
So normally we're a privately funded medical humanitarian organization, so we rely on the support that we get from private individuals like your viewers or like ourselves. So we're not reliant on governments to provide us with the funding. So that's why we can speak out in instances like this and raise the alarm. If people want to support our work in this regard, or with our work in the Mediterranean Sea, where we're rescuing people off of dangerous and unseaworthy craft as they're trying to cross into Europe because of violence in the places where they live, they can do so by simply sending the word JOIN, that's J-O-I-N, to the number 42110, and that gives us an immediate donation of 30 Rand that assists with our work. Please give us those
numbers and the word again, Borrie.
So all you need to do is just send the word JOIN, that's J-O-I-N, to the number 42110.
42110, Borrie. Thank you so much and keep up with the great work.
Thanks very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. That Mr. Borrie La Grange, Head of Communications at MSF, in studio with us, cautioning us in the continent about the dangers that could emanate from the shortage of snakebite treatment in Sub-Saharan Africa.